If there are so less amount of eggs in a woman's body, like we can't think of कि हाँ मतलब 30 साल के बाद मैं सोचूंगी प्लान करने का बच्चा. Is IVF the option? Egg storing the option?
Then your doctor may provide you solutions, no? They may advise you about egg freezing.
So ma'am, is it safe? How harmful is smoking and drinking and consuming drugs, especially for a woman's body? Does it really affect the women's cycle? But what are the important vaccines that a woman should take in her entire life journey, especially when she's turning 30 or 40 of age?
It's a hot topic. That is, breast cancer is another most important cancer, which is one of the leading causes of death in women.
And do we have the same thing for men, or men have sperms in abundance?
No. Men also, they have only one thing, that is this sperm. When I tell my patients in the OPD that you should be coming for a regular visit, she said, I don't have any problem, doctor, why should I come?
How important do you think is, weightlifting for women? Is it really good for women to do? Because a lot of people also have a myth that if I weight उठाऊंगी, then I'll become manly, I'll have like shoulders. If a woman does not get pregnant, does the menopause still happen? So आज हम लोग women health के बारे में बात करेंगे, like any issues that a women face in their entire life. We are going to break down each and every phases of a women's life, and जो भी common myths होते हैं, जो भी common questions होते हैं किसी के भी मन में, जैसे as I am growing up I have lot of questions and जो मुझे पता ही नहीं है because मेरे आसपास के लोग भी aware नहीं हैं उस चीज़ के बारे में, and she's also my gynecologist, so it is lovely having you here. आप अपना introduction मैम थोड़ा सा दे दें audience को.
Sure. As you know, I am Dr. Uma Mishra, Senior Consultant Ops and Gynae. I have my own private clinic at Sector 75 Noida, and I am a Senior Consultant at Motherhood Hospital Noida also. Okay. So I take care of high-risk deliveries, laparoscopic surgeries, and I take care of women's health.
Okay. In complete wholesome way. Just want to start with a topic where there's a lot of discussion about men and women being equal.
Yeah.
And आजकल corporate hustle भी बहुत चल रहा है, सारी औरतें भी आजकल बाहर जा रही हैं, 9 to 5 कर रही हैं. But what do you think that is biologically different in women, and how can they never be equal when it comes to biology of the body?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. They can't be equal. ठीक है, work wise, education wise, they are equal, but body wise they are not. And a woman has to go through a lot every month, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay, and they are very much different from men. So nowadays they are working 9 to 5. Even 9 to 5 क्या, evening night duties भी उनकी रहती है. If they are doing different shifts also, right? Plus, they are not only doing 9 to 5 job. They are taking care of their house. If they are married, they are taking care of their husband, children. They are running their kitchen. So it's not just one job that they are doing. Men, we usually expect they are going working. Then once they come back, they are not expected to do anything, right? But the woman has to, once she comes back, it's not done. She has to take care of the kids. She has to check whether food is prepared.
Like that is expected of us.
Expected of her, exactly, right. So there is many expectations from the woman. Plus their body, physical body, that also undergoes changes. Like every month she has menstrual periods. Menstrual periods may again not be very much normal for all the women. Some may experience pain, heavy bleeding, which makes them a bit uncomfortable while at work.
Exactly, this is what I wanted to talk to you about. Like a lot of people say कि even women, like few women, they say कि but मुझे तो इतना दर्द नहीं होता. मतलब it is normal यार, क्या ही है, I go out and work. But like, can you explain the audience that how different it is for different women? And also another question regarding is that after some age, does the menstrual period cycle changes, or does the pain, or does it like take a different sphere altogether?
Yes. So one thing that you said कि कुछ लड़कियों को भी समझ में नहीं आता. Even female colleagues, they also don't understand. तो men की तो बात ही different है ना? Because not everybody suffers from period pain or heavy bleeding during periods. It may be absolutely normal for many of us, but there are many who may undergo this kind of pain. We call it primary dysmenorrhea, and it happens for a day or two and then it settles down. But then that one day may be difficult for her in terms of pain, and usually she experiences heavy bleeding also. And it's a normal physiological process. During that process, a hormone called prostaglandin is released from the uterus, and that causes pain. And basically it causes cramping, which helps the uterus shed the lining and bleed it out. So that is painful, but it may be painful to another level if she has some medical conditions like endometriosis. This is another condition where a woman may bleed. Normally, you bleed outside, but then in that case, she may bleed inside also.
Okay.
And the lining which sheds every month outside, that may get deposited in the ovaries, in the tubes, in the like abdomen, and that causes pain. Okay. So this is endometriosis. She may have PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. That also becomes painful.
Okay.
And she may have fibroids, which may again give rise to heavy periods and painful periods. So these things may make it like even worse. The pain worsens up. So, but if any woman who is experiencing pain throughout her periods, or it's not manageable, or it's hampering her routine activities, daily day-to-day activities, then it's an indication that she has to see her doctor. There's something wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like it cannot happen that every month you are facing the same kind of a pain.
Right.
Like
a day or two pain is okay, like you may need 1 or 2 tablets to ease your pain. That's okay and understood, it's normal. But throughout periods, if you're facing it and the pain is so bad that it's not getting relieved with 1 or 2 medications, you are constantly needing pills like thrice a day daily. So that's not normal.
Okay. And what is the normal cycle?
Yeah. So normal cycle range, again, it varies from women to women.
Okay.
So normal period may be like from the cycle length, when we talk about the first day of one period to the first day of next period is the period cycle.
Okay.
So when we talk about this, its normal range is from 21 days to 35 days.
Okay.
So some women may have it like in 20 to 24 days, some may have it in 35 days.
Okay.
So that is normal. 5 days up and down is okay, but not less than 21 days, because then that doesn't give you time to make up the blood that you have lost during your menstrual periods.
Okay, and that might lead to some other condition.
Anemia and weakness, tiredness, yes.
Okay.
So, and there has to be a reason why she's getting her periods in less than 3 weeks interval.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is normal. This cycle length is normal, and if she's bleeding an average amount of blood, like blood loss is 50 to 80, we say it's normal. Like she's soaking 2 to 3 pads in a day. 2 to 3 days she may experience this, and then the amount starts decreasing. So period then starts decreasing, and gradually it stops in 5-6 days. So it may be normal to bleed for a woman from 3 days to 7 days. So that is considered normal.
Okay, so 3 is also normal, and somebody who's facing 7 days of periods is also normal.
Yeah.
Because I think while growing up, our cycle has reduced. And is that also normal, or
yes, that is
a sign to go?
That is a sign to problems also, and that may be normal also.
Okay.
But nowadays in OPD we are seeing many women coming with these complaints of like my period, I'm getting scantier periods nowadays. Earlier I used to bleed for 4-5 days. Now I'm bleeding for just 2 days.
Yeah.
It's scanty in amount.
Yeah.
So this may indicate some hormonal imbalances like PCOS, hypothyroidism, increased prolactin hormones, hyperprolactinemia. That is again something which is a hormone secreted from the brain. So she may have these problems, or they may be like if with increasing age the estrogen hormone also starts decreasing, the ovaries may start functioning to a lesser extent. There may be anovulatory cycles. So these conditions may also be there, which are alarming, like her AMH values, the egg reserves, that may start decreasing. What happens when you start with your periods? Normally every woman is born with fixed number of eggs. Okay, that number is decided once you are born.
Okay.
And with puberty, like when you start having your periods, from that reserve you start recruiting the eggs every cycle. So a number of eggs, they come out of that reserve every month. One egg or one follicle develops to become a mature egg. That releases. That egg is released somewhere around mid cycles if you have a 28-day cycle.
Okay.
So it's released, we call it ovulation. So, and meanwhile the uterus is also getting ready, the lining starts becoming thicker and all to receive a pregnancy. If there is an intercourse or something, the sperm comes and meets the egg and the pregnancy happens. If the pregnancy happens, it happens in the tube, and the tube pushes it back into the uterus. So the uterus receives it. So if the pregnancy happens, the hormones, they keep building up. Okay, and then there is no withdrawal of the hormones. But if there is no pregnancy, the egg that has been released, it becomes a waste. It gets absorbed, and the hormones, they start depleting. Okay, there is
Okay.
nothing to support that hormone, so it starts depleting. When the hormones fall to a negligible amount, the uterus lining, it starts shedding, so period starts. So this is the normal, like the hormones, they go up, they fall
Yeah,
down,
yeah.
and then every month this keeps same cycle starts happening. So basically every month uterus prepares itself to receive a pregnancy. When no pregnancy happens, then it starts shedding.
And limited amount of eggs, as you're saying. So are there any numbers that we can know or something?
So there are no fixed numbers. Everybody has their own numbers, and
Okay.
there is no accurate way to find out.
And that depends on your fertility. That's your fertility
That
count.
is your fertility count, yes.
Okay, and
So in like it's AMH and T Mullerian hormone. So that roughly tells us about a woman's egg reserves.
Okay.
And that is an important hormone. So whenever somebody comes with like scanty periods or she has been trying for long to conceive and not able to conceive, so we check for this hormone, which tells us
Okay.
what is her egg reserve, whether she has time, she can wait for some more time, or should we act instantly that okay, she doesn't have time, let's not waste any more time. So that gives us some rough idea about her fertility status.
what is that test called, ma'am?
AMH test,
AMH test.
anti-Mullerian hormone, it's done through a simple blood test.
Okay.
There are other tests also. We just don't take actions on the basis of just one test, but yes, it's one important marker.
And do we have the same thing for men, or men have sperms in abundance?
No. Men also, they have only one thing, that is this sperm, which needs to be monitored. But yes, women, they start aging from 40. Like fertility is maximum at its peak in early 20s, and late 20s it starts declining. After 35, it starts declining at a rapid rate, and after 40, that's why it becomes very difficult for a woman to conceive. So that's why we say no कि लड़कियों को अब प्लान कर लेना चाहिए, because their clock is ticking.
Yeah.
है ना, men can wait. उनके भी कम होते हैं, but उनकी लाइफ ज्यादा होती है स्पर्म्स की, स्पर्मेटोजेनेसिस.
And even I think amount of eggs that they have are more.
sperms, yes.
Sperms
Yeah.
are more than what the women have.
Yes.
That's so unfair.
It's a continuous process. No, they're not born with fixed number of sperms.
Okay.
It's a continuous process. It's a spermatogenesis. They synthesize it. They make it every like 3 months interval.
Okay, and that's not the case with the women.
No, they are not. So you have fixed number of eggs. From those
Such
fixed
stupid
numbers,
questions, Amma.
no, you think it's stupid. I may think it's stupid, but it's not. There are many women who have no idea about this.
Yeah.
They keep coming to us and they say कि I'm not able to conceive, and when we do AMH, the AMH comes to like less than 1. We say don't waste your time, try for another couple of months. If you're not able to, then seek the help of an IVF person, IVF specialist. They say आप कुछ दवा दे दो जिससे ये मेरा बढ़ जाए. We can't do that. You are born with those number of eggs, and after puberty, once you start having your periods, उसी रिजर्व में से निकलते आ रहे हैं. मान लो 15-20 आए, उसमें से एक डोमिनेंट, इट्स अ काइंड ऑफ रेस, ठीक है ना, उसमें से एक डोमिनेंट बढ़ेगा, बनेगा, which can like ovulation happens, it's released and then pregnancy may result. तो उसके साथ जितने निकले हैं ना, वो सारे उस cycle waste हो जाएंगे. It doesn't go back to your reserves. So from that fixed reserve, you are depleting every month.
So that is why protected sex is also important if you're not planning.
Yes. But then that is different, no?
Okay, that I don't know. I'm just asking you.
Protected sex, if you're not planning, is different, because if you don't want to have a pregnancy, then you should not land up in a pregnancy. Have a baby when you want to have a baby.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. That have protected sex if you don't want to get pregnant.
Otherwise, you may get surprises.
Yeah, and you're also depleting your eggs. That's the
eggs are getting depleted whether you want it or not.
Yeah, but also when like if there is kind of a ovulation that can happen, and there is like if you had like unprotected sex, and there is like chances of pregnancy happening, then also your eggs will deplete now if you're not planning to.
But yeah, those eggs, they have come out.
Yeah.
They will have to deplete. Either they will result in a fruitful pregnancy, or they will go waste.
Got it. So anyway, the eggs are depleting is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay. So now there are like 2 questions that I want to ask. One of them you already said, I think, about the IVF. And the other thing is that if there are so less amount of eggs in a woman's body, then obviously the clock is ticking. Like we can't think of कि हाँ मतलब 30 साल के बाद मैं सोचूंगी प्लान करने का बच्चा, या like abhi I want to focus on my career, because these are the like general topics that most of the women are thinking about, but they don't know कि करना क्या है. They don't want to get married, they have their career in place, but like how should they plan? is IVF the option? You know, egg storing the option? What is the option, ma'am?
These are the options, but I would suggest that she can plan everything, right? She can finish her studies in time. She can take a job or stabilize herself. It doesn't take long. But in case you are stuck up somewhere, and in case you are delayed for your job and everything, once you get a job, you feel like, let me get stabilized and let me get settled. Like financial stability also
Yeah,
is an important factor nowadays. You can't just bear a child and raise it, right? So these issues are also there. Then they can plan it and have everything in time. So I say, like, finish your studies, take up your job, and then don't delay your childbearing. Get married at a right age.
Well, ma'am, this is the ideal state that you're talking
This is the
of.
ideal. In case it's not, there are certain delays. Then after marriage, don't delay it for long, because that is something which is under your control. But let's understand that, okay, even after marriage there are hassles or something, and she's not able to find her time. Then again, please go to your doctor, discuss your fertility goals, your family planning goals with your doctor. Talk to them clearly that no, you are still wanting to defer it for some more time,
Okay.
and maybe by that time it's too late to have babies. Then your doctor may provide you solutions, no, like they may advise you about egg freezing. That is an option that is always there.
Yeah.
You can freeze your eggs at right age, like 35 or uske pehle bhi you can freeze it, and you can have babies whenever you want it through IVF.
So, ma'am, how affordable is that, and how easy it is? Like, it sounds easy, like egg freezing, karwa
But
lo,
it's
and
not that easy. It's not that cheap, but it's not beyond your scope. So
if you
with
can give us a
IVF
range of.
IVF in Delhi, Noida metros, we are talking about, it ranges somewhere between 1.5 to 2.5 lakhs
For
per
IVF?
cycle. Yes,
For IVF.
IVF.
Ma'am, IVF and egg freezing are different, no?
Egg freezing is different. Egg freezing is a part of IVF cycle.
Right. So, egg freezing में
Egg
कितना
freezing is
लग सकता है?
इससे थोड़ा सा कम कर लो, 1 to 1.5. Egg freezing सिर्फ नहीं होती है ना. If you are
Okay.
freezing your eggs, पहले तो the doctor will give you some injections to build up more number of eggs, because when we are trying to retrieve the eggs,
Right.
we would try to get a good number, right?
Right.
So we pump you with injections and hormones, and then when the eggs are ready, we monitor it on ultrasound. When the eggs are ready, then the woman has to undergo a surgical procedure, that is egg retrieval,
Okay.
where we put her under anesthesia and we take out all the eggs. Eggs are then studied, उसमें से अच्छे क्वालिटी के हैं, उनको फिर प्रिजर्व करते हैं.
Okay.
If a couple is married, तो फिर हम सीधे फर्टिलाइज करके बेबी को प्रिजर्व कर सकते, like embryos को प्रिजर्व कर सकते
Okay,
हैं.
that can also
be done.
happen.
Yes.
But that will be more costly, no?
That will be more costly. So you can freeze your eggs, or you can freeze your embryos if you have a partner. Freezing तो हो गई, but उसके बाद उसकी maintenance के भी charges लगते हैं.
Exactly.
So for how many years you want to keep it, so that is also chargeable. So that costs around somewhere 20 to 30,000 per year.
20,000 to
Everything put
30,000
together, it would cost somewhere around 1 to 1.5 lakhs or 2 lakhs.
per year.
Roughly, a one-time process.
Okay.
At the cost of maintenance cost is.
So,
added
ma'am, is
again.
it safe? And what are like few places in India where women who is looking for egg freezing can go, like trustable, credible places?
Yeah, there are many options nowadays. Like every nook and corner, you will find one infertility center.
But is it safe to?
Yes, if you don't have other options, then this is one of the safest methods. Even people trying at the right age may also encounter infertility or fertility issues. She may have some hormonal issues which is not allowing her to become pregnant.
Yeah.
She may have some structural issues, like there may be blocked tubes, or there may be some problems with the uterus or fibroids not allowing you to become pregnant. So in those cases also, IVF they help us, right?
Yeah.
So it's a safe thing, but yes, it's not that easy as it's sounding. It's difficult. It's an emotionally, physically, financially draining process.
Yeah.
But then at least you have something. When you can't have babies, you have something to resort to.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, so IVF is successful.
Yeah.
Now it's like more successful than it was previously. Like it's easier, it's getting better.
Yes.
Like if you can give us any trustable, credible places
For IVF,
Yeah.
there are many centers. You Google, and there are many centers. Even all the reputed hospitals also, they are coming up with their IVF units.
Private hospitals.
Yes, private hospitals. There are many like Cloud9, Motherhood. They're all coming up, and independent infertility specialists are also there. They have their own labs and all.
Okay, I think we came like कुछ ज़्यादा ही आगे आ गए हम लोग.
हाँ. We got carried away.
We got carried away. But let's come to common myths around PCOD, PCOS. A lot of people don't know about what's PCOS and PCOD. So if you can explain us that as well.
Yeah. So PCOD is a hormonal problem. So basically the cause of PCOD is still not known, but genetic factors do play some role. So it has some role. Plus environmental factors or your lifestyle that significantly has to do something with PCOD. So it's a like if we are talking about the signs and symptoms, how to diagnose PCOD.
Yeah.
PCOD is basically a misnomer, polycystic ovarian disease or polycystic ovarian syndrome. People believe that when they have cysts in the ultrasound, only then it's PCOD. So there are many women who come to us, or young girls, they'll come that I'm putting on weight, my periods are getting irregular, but I have checked, I don't have PCOD, my ultrasound is normal. No, that is one of the findings in the ultrasound. Your ovaries will have some cysts, that is the appearance. Your ovaries will have multiple small fluid-filled sacs, and it gives the appearance of polycystic ovaries. But the problem is not just there. The problem is more like widespread. It's a woman may have tendency to put on weight very easily. She may have irregular periods or delayed periods. Like she may have like only 3 to 4 cycles a year. When a woman should be having it every month, she may have like every 2-3 months interval. Again, the pattern is unpredictable. Sometimes she may bleed for a longer period of time. Sometimes when the bleeding happens, the menstrual phase, that may be very scanty. So we were talking about
But
scanty
ma'am, these are
periods.
very these are the things that can happen.
Yeah.
But then when do you go for a test? When do you suspect that?
So when you feel that your cycles are regularly getting delayed, or they are scantier, the bleeding pattern is not consistent. Initially you were noticing it like a regular amount of flow, average amount of flow, but now you have noticed that it's getting scantier, or it has increased, the flow amount has increased. You are noticing some painful periods. Early you were not, but now you have it. So again, that is the time to consult a doctor. There may be acne, facial acne, body hair, increased body hair or facial hair, male pattern baldness, thinning of hair. So pigmentation in your neck or chest area, so darkening of skin, which we call acanthosis nigricans. So all these issues, they indicate towards hormonal imbalances or PCOD. So then you should be seeing a doctor. Yeah.
And PCOS is also same.
It's same. Now we don't call it PCOD, it's more a syndrome. So multiple organs are affected. It's not just one problem. It's a complex problem.
Because it hasn't been identified completely.
Right.
So it's like a syndrome completely now.
Yes.
Okay. So ma'am, let's also talk about infertility reasons. जैसे हमने infertility के बारे में बात की, मतलब कि कैसे deplete होते रहते हैं eggs. But what are the common reasons for that? Like, if you can give us what are the common reasons, या जो आपने अभी तक experience किया हो.
Yes. So first and the foremost reason is increasing age. So as I said, fertility comes down with your increasing age. It's maximum at its peak in its early 20s, and then it starts declining because the number of eggs, they are starting to decrease over a period of time. With increasing age, there may be anovulatory cycles. Okay, so ovulation becomes irregular. And so every month, if you are having your periods every month, that means you are ovulating every month. If your cycles are 2 to 3 months delayed, then ovulation also gets affected.
That's the infertility.
That is maybe one of the reasons for infertility, because ovulation it doesn't happen mid-cycle. That's again a myth. It happens 2 weeks before the expected periods. Ovulation, when the egg is released during a cycle, so the timing is not mid-cycle. We have the habit of calculating, no, कि if you have a 30-day cycle, तो 15th day पे ovulation होगी, 28-day cycle है तो 14th day पे ovulation.
No, I तो have a period tracker, ma'am.
So that has made life simpler. But otherwise, people have this notion that it happens mid-cycles, but it doesn't. It happens 2 weeks before the expected periods.
Okay.
So आने वाले period से 2 हफ्ते पहले. So if you are ovulating in 3 months interval, तो इतने time तक तो ovulation हुई नहीं ना. So then आपके chances जो हर महीने बन रहे थे to conceive, it has decreased now. So increasing age, hormonal imbalances like hypothyroidism, that also affects hormones. Hyperprolactinemia, it affects hormones and ovulation.
But like ma'am, what are the signs, if we can, like what are the signs? एक तो आपने बता दिया कि menstrual cycle अगर सही नहीं आ रही,
late हो रही है,
late हो रही है.
Again आपको signs of PCOS अगर नजर आ रहे हैं,
Okay.
facial acne, weight gain हो रही है, periods late होते जा रहे हैं, irregular होते जा रहे हैं. This is again indicative of
Okay.
PCOS.
Okay.
So then you have to see. If a couple has been trying for 1 year, we say like at least try for 1 year, and if the couple has not been able to conceive, then it's the time to start investigating that there might be some problems.
Okay.
So then we start doing some investigations and looking out for reasons. So we do hormones, we check their hormones, we do certain tests to rule out blockages of the tubes. There may be blockages in the tubes also. That could be again due to infections or previous history of abortions or
Okay.
even deliveries, or there could be some fibroids, as we said and discussed. Endometriosis is another important cause of infertility.
Okay.
So there the women usually has 2 problems. One is severe painful periods. Second is difficulty in conceiving, because the anatomy is distorted in endometriosis because of the bleed outside and in the ovaries. So all the tissues, they get stuck to each other. So the normal anatomy of the tube and ovaries, that gets disturbed. So egg is released, but it's not picked up by the tube because the tube is somewhere stuck to the uterus or other intestinal organs. So because of the distorted anatomy, so again conception becomes a problem.
Okay.
And so these are the few female
These are the like
reasons.
basic.
Yeah, and age in itself, lifestyle, increased weight is again a problem for conceiving. So many women, when who are overweight, when they start working out, taking care of their lifestyle, diet, and when they lose weight, they conceive.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's so obesity plays
An important role. Yeah.
Okay, so obesity can delay your pregnancy as well.
Yes, it can cause to infertility.
Okay. So you have to keep your weight in check.
Weight in check is one of the foremost thing and important thing that everybody should be doing, men and women both, but women too definitely.
And with the growing age, you should.
With the growing age, definitely you should. And weight in itself leads to so many chronic conditions like type 2 diabetes, blood pressure.
Ma'am, don't.
No, you are fine. You are not in that range. But yes,
You're scaring us.
see, awareness is very, very important.
Yeah.
You know? So only when you know that this is a problem, then you take care of that problem. When you are not aware of it, then you're not bothered also, right?
Okay. Yeah, so I should listen.
Yes,
you
you
can
should
continue.
Yeah.
So as you were saying, complete
So
yours.
obesity, yes, it leads to many chronic problems. Obesity in itself is most important factor for infertility. And even when the pregnancy happens, it may lead to abortions, miscarriages, or gestational diabetes during pregnancy, pregnancy-induced hypertension or high blood pressure, to preterm deliveries or low birth weight babies. It may also it also increases the chances of cesarean sections because it leads to big babies also. So these are the problems which it can cause during pregnancy.
Okay.
So yes,
I have another question. It's also related, like infertility in men. What are the reasons for that as well, if you can explain?
men, so sperm production that can be low. So that is one of the important reasons. Again, there like drug usage, diabetes, these conditions also affect. Even obesity in men, that also affects. So these are the few.
But lifestyle doesn't affect.
It affects.
Lifestyle is the major.
Lifestyle, drug intake, medications usage, all these things, they affect. Lifestyle definitely affects in both men and women.
Okay.
For the medical conditions also and for fertility also.
I have my next question is about, I think a lot of people know it, but how harmful is smoking and drinking and consuming drugs, especially for a women's body?
Yes.
I know you will say yes, but also tell us how, on which level is it harmful, or is it?
See, it's harmful for sure. Okay. Smoking does no good to your body. Okay. So if you are smoking, quit it.
Yeah.
It will definitely benefit your body and your health. Men and women both. Smoking
Okay.
has lot of, like, it causes no good in the sense that it can cause lung cancer. That is one of the commonest thing.
Yeah.
In women, it may cause cervical cancer.
Okay.
It can also leads to many chronic medical problems, blood pressure, diabetes, all these medical conditions, they are also affected. Smoking during pregnancy can cause low birth weight babies. It also affects the
But
pregnancy
that's
and
so
babies.
strictly prohibited. That should not
Yes.
be done.
So if you can stop smoking during pregnancy, why can't you stop it otherwise?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question, ma'am.
Yes. Even alcohol when taken in limited amounts, it's fine, but when it's uncontrolled, it also has negative effects. It can lead to breast cancers, and during pregnancy it can cause fetal effects also, fetal alcohol syndrome. So again, this is something which is not good for your health if not taken in appropriate amount.
And what about just, I know all drugs are harmful, but does it really affect the women's cycle, or transfers into infertility
Yeah,
issues?
recreational drugs or
Yeah.
these kind of drugs, they affect a woman's mental health. It affects women's fertility. Men and women's fertility also gets affected. Pregnancy, mental stability. So again, it affects all the parts of your body.
Okay. Like basically, I'm more concerned about like fertility issues. Does it
Exactly.
affect
So
that?
exactly, it affects
Okay.
in a very negative way.
Okay. Okay. There are also a lot of vaccines that we are not known about, like women don't know. But what are the important vaccines that a woman should take in in her entire life journey, especially when she's turning 30 or 40 of age?
See, initial vaccination schedule, the childhood vaccination schedule, pretty much all the parents, they take care of. है ना? So when you grow up, then there are certain vaccinations which should be taken on regular basis,
Yeah.
like flu vaccine to protect you from seasonal flus and all, from influenzas. There is Tdap, tetanus, diphtheria, and whooping cough. Tdap protects you from these kind of infections. Normally, it's given during pregnancy, and if not, it should be taken after or before pregnancy. It should be taken on regular basis.
Okay.
And again, the most common vaccine, which is in very much like it's a hot topic, that is cervical cancer vaccination. So this is the only vaccine that is available and which protects you from a cancer.
Yeah.
Normally cancers are not, we cannot prevent you from a cancer, but here is something which can prevent you from cervical cancer. It's just because cervical cancers are caused by HPV viruses.
Yeah.
And again, we are talking about cancer of the cervix, that is lowermost part of the
Yes,
uterus,
yes.
and not the cervix.
Yeah.
Cervical area. Okay, so this protects you from the cancer of the cervix, and cancer cervix is caused by HPV virus, which has multiple strains.
Yeah.
And it gets transmitted into the body through sexual contact.
Yeah.
So it's a sexually transmitted virus. So once a woman starts becoming sexually active, she is at risk for contracting this infection.
Yeah.
And normally the body's defense mechanism is so strong that it may remove this virus, it may fight with the virus and kick it out of the body. But sometimes it may not, when the body immunity is low, when the person is suffering from some other kind of infections like HIV or something like that. So then the body may not be able to fight with the infections, HPV infections.
So this is the most important vaccine that you must take.
Yeah.
If you are
So,
sexually active.
Sexually active, yes. An ideal time to take this is 9 to 14 years when a woman is not sexually active. Otherwise, 9 to 26 years is the best time. But recently, WHO has said that it can be taken up till 45 years of age.
Okay.
It provides you protection from the cancers like cervical cancers, anal cancers, and many genital warts also.
Okay.
So even if it's late, you may take this vaccine because it provides protection to some extent. But yes, even if you are taking this vaccine, it's not a replacement for Pap testing for cervical cancer.
Ma'am, can you explain this to the audience? Because obviously I understand it, but can you break it down for people who are watching? Like, first of all, she's talking about cervical cancer and how you can prevent it. So talk about Pap smear test. Why do you need to do that? And what are the vaccines you need to protect yourself?
Yes, so cervical cancer is a cancer caused by the HPV virus, as we discussed, and HPV virus is a viral infection. So normally body fights with the virus and it may remove the virus. But when the virus is persistent in the cervix for a longer period of time, it may cause certain changes in the cells which may lead to formation of a cancer. The cancer is like when the cells undergo uncontrolled multiplication and they form a mass. So when this thing happens, the cancer is formed. So here there is a catch. Like if we give the vaccine to women, like from 9 to 14 years, when they're very young,
Yeah.
they are protected from the cancer.
Right.
And the virus, and after that, even if the virus enters, these vaccines, they provide protection against some major strains that causes cancer.
Cancer.
So but the virus, since the virus has multiple strains, you are still at risk for the cancer. So even after you have taken the vaccination to protect yourself, still you need to get routine pap smears done.
What is pap
Pap smear is a cervical cancer screening test.
Okay.
So where we do a general examination, like a look and a local examination, we look out at the cervix and we scrape the cells from the cervix and take out that discharge and send it for testing. So we look for the presence of any abnormalities in those cells.
Right.
So if the cells are normal, fine. If the cells are not normal, or then there are any abnormal changes in the cells, so then that doesn't mean you have cancer, but then it means you are at increased risk of having a cancer in the next 5 to 10 years.
Okay.
Okay, so along with that pap test, we can also do HPV virus testing also, HPV DNA testing. So in the same cells, we check for the presence of virus.
Yeah.
So if the virus is not present, again you are good and you are at low risk. But if the high risk strain is present, then you are somebody who needs a regular follow-up,
Yeah.
because you are at high risk for developing the cancer over a period of time. So with pap smears, we do find out precancerous lesions, like lesions which may progress to cancer over a period of time, or we may also diagnose the cancers at an early stage. So this is a screening test which detects the problems at a very early stage,
Yeah.
so that it can be taken care of and it can be cured. Yeah, so
Although it's not like completely cured, you have to take precautions and then you get
it can be completely
treated.
cured. If you are in the precancerous
Okay.
stage, it can be completely cured. Or if you are in the early stages, like the cancer has different stages, so stages 1 and 2 can be cured.
Okay.
Only when it has spread to other organs,
That's why you need to keep on getting
That's why
screened.
the importance of screening comes.
Yeah, yeah. What are the other vaccine, ma'am? You already told about the cervical cancer, how you can prevent that. What about the breast cancer, and what are the vaccines that you can
We
take?
don't have any vaccines for breast cancer. Breast cancer is another most important cancer, which is one of the leading causes of death in women.
Yeah.
Right. So that is something very important for us as women to understand, that how can we protect ourselves from breast cancer. The causes for breast cancers are different. Again, it's like due to uncontrolled multiplication of the cells in the breast.
Okay.
But breast cancers may be caused due to genetic condition also.
Okay.
Those who have those genes BRCA1 and BRCA2, there is increased risk for developing a breast
How
cancer.
do you get that checked, ma'am?
That is through blood tests. So
Okay.
that can be
What is that test called?
Genetic testing, gene testing.
Gene testing.
Again, if somebody has a history of breast cancer in the family, like her mother or sister, or even paternal side, paternal aunt, paternal grandmother,
Right.
so then she comes under high risk category, and she should be like screened routinely.
Okay.
And again, unhealthy lifestyles like obesity, increased hormone intake like HRT, hormone replacement therapy, which we give after menopause,
Okay.
or increased like oral contraceptive pills, like that, increased intake of hormones or uncontrolled intake of hormones. So these also leads to increased risk of breast cancers.
But there's no such vaccine for.
There is no such vaccines. Yes, we have certain, like you can do breast self-examination every month. That is one way to get used to your breast, so that any abnormality that appears, or any new mass appears, or there are any changes in the nipple or any discharge from the nipple, so you come to notice it early. And then
Okay.
you
So
can
these
see
are
your
the
doctor.
signs
These
for
are the
breast
signs for breast cancer. So when you're examining your breast every month, so that means you're getting used to your breast every month, no? So any abnormal sign or symptom, you will get to notice it very early.
Okay.
So that's how you pick it up early. So that's
Okay.
the importance of breast
But
self-examination.
self-examination, a lot of women
Yes.
do not know how to self-examine.
The breast self-examination. Yes, ideally you have to fix a date. Best time is just after periods. So just decide once a month after your period, stand in front of the mirror with one hand behind your head, and with the other palm you have to check one breast.
Okay.
And the same thing is repeated for the other side. You
Okay.
can do it while in lying down position also.
Okay.
So this is how you palpate the breast in clockwise.
And you check if there are any lumps.
No, you just press it with the flat of your palm, not the tips, not the hand, with the mid palm. You flat, because that's the most sensitive area. So you just press it and check it. The idea is to get used to your breast.
Okay.
If there are any masses, you will get to know.
Masses as in something,
Some lumps or swelling.
some lumps or swellings if you get.
Yeah.
Also, ma'am, we talk about the texture, if there's some texture
I'm coming
difference.
to that.
Yeah.
So this is one thing. You look for any lumps. Then you press the nipples and look for any discharge from the nipple. So any bloody or pus-like discharge is not normal. So you have to then see a doctor. Any nipple retraction. Normally nipples would be everted. It should not be inverted. So if it's inverted, that's not a good sign. Look for any skin changes. Like any changes different from the surrounding skin, that's not normal. Any dimpling on the skin, like orange skin appearance, that's again not normal. So these are the signs which you look for, and lumps you look for. If you feel anything abnormal, go to your doctor.
But
And otherwise, every year, once a year, you should be visiting your gynecologist
okay.
for a routine check. Like she'll check your breast, she'll do a general physical examination, she'll have a look at your cervix, she'll do your pap. So
Okay.
that is important.
Yeah.
That is one of the myths. When I tell my patients in the OPD that you should be coming for a regular visit, she said, I don't have any problem, doctor. Why should I come? You don't have a problem in the future. You should not be having a problem in the future. For
future.
that reason, you need to come.
Exactly. I think a lot of people only go to the doctor when they have some problem.
They have some issues. The concept of routine health check is still lacking in India.
In India, yeah. That's not even common. Even the insurance people are not giving you that.
So yes, but your health is one important thing that you have to take charge of your health, है ना?
Right. Also, any medical insurance that you recommend or you feel कि वो अच्छा है?
सब same है.
सब same है.
They all find reasons.
इंडिया
not
में
to give it
मेडिकल
to you.
इंश्योरेंस तो अच्छा है ही नहीं मैम फिर तो.
Exactly, they all find reasons not to give it to you. So, they are all same.
So you should not take medical insurance.
No, you should, because health care has become very expensive nowadays. So you should definitely, ठीक है ना? तो वो उतना मतलब taking out some amount from your pocket should not be like giving you a heart attack, because then you are saving your life, you are taking care of your health. That is one of the biggest asset.
मतलब एटलीस्ट कोई मेडिकल इंश्योरेंस तो ले ही लेनी चाहिए.
बिल्कुल.
Okay. I think vaccines you have greatly explained. Is there any other vaccine apart from,
Other vaccines are just the routine ones, which are for men and women. Otherwise, these were the most important ones, which are exclusive for the women and during pregnancy, and otherwise for cancer.
Other are common. Can you just name them?
The routine ones like mumps, measles, rubella. Before, like anybody who has been planning or who is planning to conceive or something, then they should be coming for a preconception counseling, where we check for the deficiencies, we check for the vaccinations, whether she is immune to rubella, that is German measles, or chicken pox, because these are the infections which if happens during the pregnancy, they may spread to the baby. If you're not immune, not protected against them, then it may spread to the baby, and it may cause multiple birth defects. So when a woman is trying to become pregnant, so that is the time we can check her out and check if she is not immune, we can vaccinate her.
Any other vaccine for people under who are teenagers, who are under 20 to 30 and not wanting to get pregnant, but are just sexually active? Any other?
No, just these are the routine
ones that they should take. Ma'am, we also see that vitamin deficiency has become very common these days, and there are lots of supplements coming.
Oh yes, yes.
So
and people have the habit of popping in pills without doctor's recommendations. There are lots of stuff and lots of information available online, like Instagram, YouTube. They'll go, if somebody is recommending this, they'll pop in. There's somebody is recommending this. So, but that is something which is not good. See, taking supplements definitely help. Dietary supplements help improve your health. They may replenish like your dietary insufficiencies, but that they can never replace your normal healthy habit of eating. So you should be taking good diet. There is no replacement for that. But yes, if you are deficient, like there are certain conditions, like you may be vitamin D deficient, there may be the calcium may be low, so then you should be taking, like a woman who is bleeding heavily or not taking proper iron rich food, she may become anemic, or there may be low iron reserves in her body because of the monthly
and I think
cycles.
most of the women lack iron.
Yes, because see, every month you are losing blood, and if you're not taking care of your diet, you tend to become anemic. And lose.
So what is the solution, ma'am?
So one thing is check whether you are bleeding heavily or not. So if you are bleeding, like if the bleeding is average or normal, then please check whether you are taking healthy diet or not, which
Okay.
is rich in iron, rich in protein. So you should be taking a good amount of proteins,
ठीक
less
है.
carbs,
Less carbs.
Yes.
Are carbs not good for women?
No, simple carbs, so definitely not. It should be,
Okay.
see, it gives you energy, it's definitely needed, but needed in like limited amounts.
Okay.
Less oil intake, saturated fat, that should be less in amount. So you should be taking a balanced diet. You should be doing 30 minutes of exercise, moderate intensity exercise daily. In any form, you can do yoga, meditation, 30 minutes of brisk walking, cardio, gymming, weightlifting. In whatever form you do exercise, that's beneficial and that's helpful. That keeps your weight under check, that keeps your mental stability also.
Yeah.
It provides you mental stability. So that is also another important thing that you should be taking in order to take care of your good health. So
Okay.
if you're doing all this stuff, so then we were talking about the supplements.
Yeah.
So deficiencies should be rectified. So that is something the supplements, the role of supplements.
So like if you're low at some vitamin, you can take
You can
supplements. And मतलब उसका duration क्या हो सकता है मैम? Like you take it lifelong or you just
no.
take for few months and then you pause?
देयर इज अ ड्यूरेशन. सो हर चीज की टाइम है, कितने टाइम तक आपको लेना है, कितनी डेफिशिएंसी, डिपेंड्स अपॉन हाउ मच डेफिशिएंट यू आर. सो डोंट, यू आर नॉट द वन हु हैज टू डिसाइड दैट हाउ मेनी मंथ्स आई हैव टू टेक दिस. प्लीज गो टू द डॉक्टर. दे आर देयर, टेक द हेल्प ऑफ द प्रोफेशनल. सो
नहीं, but I see, as you said, that people are popping कि हाँ ये वाला ये कमी लग रही है मुझे, बाल पतले हो गए, ये खा रहे थे.
नहीं है, बाल पतले हैं तो ये खा लिया. Some people have the habit of taking vitamin E. They keep taking vitamin E,
Yeah,
vitamin
the green
C.
capsule.
So anything in excess can be harmful. Although they are
So you
vitamins.
first get checked for your vitamin deficiencies.
Yes.
You can take it according to your doctor. How
Yes,
how
if
long?
you are B12 deficient, then take B12 supplements. If you're vitamin D deficient, take vitamin D. We all are, because
Yeah.
we are hardly we are.
I
in
think these
sun.
are the common vitamin
These are the
deficiencies
common
that women
ones.
have.
Yes. these are
Ma'am,
the
do you
common-
also have these deficiencies?
I haven't checked myself in the last 6 months.
Okay.
Yes, 1 year back I was.
So like I feel like every woman that I speak to have B12 deficiency or vitamin D
B12
deficiency.
deficiencies, actually B12 is available in non-veg food. So those who
Yeah.
are vegetarians or vegans, they usually lack B12.
Yeah, vegetarian.
So they are the ones. You're vegetarians, so then you should get your vitamin B12 checked, and if you're deficient, then you should take the supplement.
Also, which food items does have zinc? Because I think zinc is also a common, deficient in a woman's body.
See, zinc, magnesium,
Yeah.
there are multiple minerals that should be taken in balanced amount.
Okay.
So the key to balanced diet is have less carbs, less fat, a bit more of proteins, plenty of green leafy veggies. Okay,
Yeah.
that is one important thing. Rich in antioxidants and at least one fruit daily, a glass of milk, which provides you protein and calcium both,
Okay.
and exercise 30 minutes in the sun.
Sun.
Yes. Have a good night's sleep. Again, sleep is.
Ma'am, these are all ideal things that you're
Ideal
mentioning.
things, yes,
Tell us
that's the
something
reason.
practical.
So these are. So you will have to find out a balance between these two. If you're ignoring this, you're bound to have issues,
Yeah.
right? Nowadays, like people are working in the night, है ना?
yeah.
So late night they're working or they're partying and all. So circadian rhythm भी तो गड़बड़ हो गई ना. So that also affects. So stress, sleep, all these things, they contribute a lot to the problems. Basically hormonal issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we have covered a lot of questions. How important do you think is, weightlifting for women? Is it really good for women to do, or it doesn't add to anything much?
It definitely adds. Weightlifting or gymming, it improves your muscle mass, it improves bone density, so it prevents you from osteoporosis, like a problem which you usually have after menopause.
Okay.
Yeah, so it keeps your weight under check.
Okay.
Again, mental stability.
No, like a treadmill walk can also be fine,
that
or
can
you
also
should
be
go
fine.
for muscle lifting
it's,
exercise.
It's not a must.
Weightlifting exercises, sorry.
Nothing is a must. Okay, if you don't have time, just go for cardio or go for 30 minutes walk. That is sufficient. But if you are doing these like weightlifting and all, these are strength building exercises.
Okay.
So this adds to your wealth. It adds to the tone of the body. It adds to the figure.
Okay.
So it has multiple benefits.
So it is, I think it should be
Extra
done.
benefits, yes.
Yeah, it should be done. Because a lot of people also have a myth that अगर मैं weight उठाऊंगी then I'll become manly, I'll have like shoulders.
No, this is misconception.
Yeah.
This is a myth.
Yeah.
Again, by pregnancy में भी आ जाते हैं कि हमें नहीं करना exercise. I'm pregnant, so I'm resting. I'm not doing stairs and all.
Yeah.
This is all wrong.
Okay, so you should actually
Be
work
active
out
throughout. Yes.
your pregnancy.
Yes.
मतलब बहुत ज़्यादा heavy कुछ मत करो, but
yes, moderate amount of exercise, moderate intensity exercises can be done, provided you don't have any like medical issues or some obstetric complications. That is a separate thing. Otherwise, pregnancy is normal and you can be active.
Okay. One question I think I've already covered in that vaccine section, but as you have seen that dating apps have become so common,
Yes.
and I am sure that आपके पास बहुत सारे patients आते होंगे STDs and STIs लेकर के.
Right.
So how can you prevent, you know, from all this situation? Like आप STDs and STIs से कैसे बच सकते हो? I know vaccine आपने बोला, बहुत लोग aware नहीं है, और क्या चीजें हैं जो कर सकते हैं?
एक चीज तो ये पहली चीज है, डेटिंग एप्स व्हाट आर दे डूइंग, दे आर प्रोवाइडिंग लाइक इजी अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ
Yeah.
पार्टनर्स, है ना.
Yeah.
सो यू हैव वेरी मच लाइक एक्सेस टू ऑल दिस काइंड ऑफ स्टफ. व्हेन यू हैव इजी अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ स्टफ तो फिर रॉन्ग यूसेज भी हो जाती है, राइट. सो practice safe sex. That is one of the important thing that every woman should undergo.
Yeah.
Because with the increased numbers of partners, casual sex also comes into role. Then please use condoms or barrier contraception, what we call. So use it every time. So that ways you will be decreasing the transmission of sexually transmitted diseases. Discuss with your partners. Like there should be a communication, open
Right.
communication. So discuss with your partners about, ask them about their sexual health history, and if there are any issues or any history which you are finding like it's not right, then please refrain.
And like how do you get
yourself checked regularly at regular
like
intervals.
what should be the time?
So yearly
space?
once at least, if provided you have like basically if you have multiple partners, then definitely it's needed. At least once a year, go to your doctor, get yourself checked for sexually transmitted infections.
Okay. Other than condoms, what are the other preventive measures?
Condoms are the only ones.
Are the
which
only
protect-
ones?
Yes, because that acts as a barrier.
There's no like contraceptive pills and
That will protect you from unwanted pregnancies, but that will not protect you from sexually transmitted infections.
Okay.
So yes, one another like
myths.
huh.
Other myths, can you also like talk about any other myths that maybe in these questions we haven't covered?
See, when we talk about myths, no, there are innumerable number of myths. So वो पूरी हमारी आज की talk इस पे चली जाएगी. But yes, to name a few.
हाँ, like anything on top of your head.
First myth is please visit your doctor when you are in a good state of health. Okay, so that is important, so that you remain healthy. That's important, because in that visit your doctor will educate you about all the tests, investigations, vaccinations and everything, supplements. Okay,
Right.
so that is important. Second thing we discussed, like period pain, that that this is normal and a woman has to endure
Yeah.
period pain. No, you can take painkillers and ease yourself out. But yes, if your pain is too much, if you're not able to manage it, then please take the help of your doctor. Then you may have some conditions also.
Yeah.
Third, taking painkillers. काफी सारे लोग ये भी आते हैं कि painkillers, my mom says don't take painkillers, otherwise your periods will get affected,
Yeah.
or your fertility will get affected.
Yeah.
Again, it's a myth. No, your
Okay.
your painkillers only take care of the pain. It has
Okay.
nothing to do with your period cycles or length of the periods or your future fertility. Okay, so these are different. Vaginal douching, vaginal cleaning, which chemical or vaginal wash should be used?
Yeah.
You don't have to use any wash or any douche for your vagina. That vagina has its own self-cleansing
Cleansing
method. One confusion I think many women they have is about the vagina and vulva. Vagina is the internal organ. It's a canal, okay, which connects from the uterus to the outside.
Yeah.
So that canal needs not be disturbed.
Okay.
Leave it. It has its own cleansing mechanism.
Yeah.
And the odor it has, that is
Yeah.
also normal. Many
Okay.
women use number of fragrances or cosmetics. It has its own odor and that is perfectly fine. Okay.
Unless it's spelling something
Until
different.
unless you have some foul smelling
Yeah.
excessive discharge, the discharge is greenish or yellowish in color. It's
Yeah.
in plenty.
Yeah.
It is associated with itching. It's curdy or paneer like
Yeah.
texture, cottage
Yeah.
cheese like
Yeah.
texture, or it's frothy, that indicates you have some vaginal infections. Then you need to check with your doctor.
Also, ma'am, vaginal itching, is that normal? A lot of women do face vaginal itching even during periods or,
Yeah.
you know, after periods.
Yes. So vaginal itching not necessarily may be infection all the time, but yes, it may be temporary, like during periods or after periods when you have been using pads or sanitary napkins for a longer period of time. You may have a little bit of itching when you're using tight-fitted clothes and all. So you
Also
may have
during the discharge time.
during the discharge time, because discharge also increases during like different phases of the cycle, no? Just after periods, just before periods, mid cycles, during ovulation, the discharge increases a bit. So
Okay.
that may also give rise to a little bit of itching and all, but that does not necessarily mean you have infection.
Okay. You can get checked when there's a lot of.
Then a lot of discharge, yes.
Okay, I think we have covered most of the questions that I wanted to ask you. Anything else that you want to add, ma'am? Anything that I didn't cover? I think I didn't cover menopause.
Yes, you haven't.
Yeah,
covered
so I
menopause.
think we'll talk about that and we'll end this conversation.
Yes. So menopause marks the end of the reproductive cycle of a woman.
Yeah,
Right?
haven't reached there yet.
Yes, there's a long way to go, but yes, that is something which everyone should know. And menopause does not come at one point. Okay, it's not a sudden thing.
Okay.
It's a transition period.
Okay.
So there is it has three stages. Like there is one pre or perimenopausal age phase. There is menopause. There is postmenopause.
Okay.
So perimenopausal stage starts somewhere like after 40. And it can last up to many years. This is the time period where your periods become like irregular, your cycles become anovulatory, like your estrogen production decreases. So there may be anovulatory cycles, and the length of the cycles they start increasing. Like you may have your periods in 2 months, 3 months, 8 months,
Acha.
9 months.
Okay.
So you don't have to be bothered about them as long as they're not coming in 21 days, less than 21 days interval. We
Okay.
are pretty much okay with that.
Okay.
If they are coming in scantier amount, we are okay, because again, less hormones, less periods. That's understood. They should not be, once you get your periods, it should not continue for a longer period of time. It should stop in 6-7 days. Okay,
Okay.
it should not be continuing for 10 to 15 days, because if it is, then you need to see
So
the
6 to
doctor.
7 days is normal.
Normal periods.
Acha, even in
yeah, blood flows, that's okay. And there should be no heavy bleeding, no painful periods. So these are the things that needs to be noticed. So this is one period problem. Then again there are mood swings, mood irritability. There may be skin dryness,
So
vaginal
these
dryness.
things menopause में भी ये झेलना है.
प्री मेनोपॉज से ही झेलना है, फिर
Oh
मेनोपॉज के
God.
बाद भी थोड़ा बहुत झेलना है. Then it settles down. Okay.
Okay.
yes,
So that starts from the age of 40.
after 40 usually.
Okay.
So some people may start having it in their mid 40s and something. The age of menopause has gone like nowadays, so it's like 50 to 55 years. Earlier it was 45 to 50.
Okay.
So it has gone up
But why? How?
because of the, most likely because of the health, the care we are taking about our health, the kind of nutrition.
Or maybe we are getting pregnant late.
No. That
Is
has
that-
nothing to do
Okay.
with that. So we are taking good care of ourselves. That is the reproductive cycle
Okay.
in total has like become widespread now. Now the menarche, the period when you start having your periods, that has become early. Menopause has become late. So this is something which has its negative also, because you then tend to have not many issues also. Yes, but then this is something which.
So, ma'am, you were explaining the phase. So there's pre-menopause.
So
and
pre-menopause, you'll face these kind of issues. There will be hot flashes, cold sweats, mood swings, mood irritability, skin dryness, vaginal dryness leading to difficult intercourse. There may be urinary incontinence, like leakage of urine, because
Okay.
even bladder muscles, they atrophy under the effect of no hormones. So there are no hormones to take care of the vaginal health and bladder health, right?
Okay.
So these bones, they may start weakening, so osteoporosis and all. So 10 years after menopause, normally you start seeing this weakening of bones and all. And so these are few signs that one may notice. And once you attain menopause, like we call it menopause when you haven't had your periods for the last 1 year. So then we say, okay, now you are menopausal. So any bleeding from the vagina after menopause is not normal.
Okay.
it needs attention.
Hmm.
So this is menopause. So after menopause, you need to check for any bleeding. You should be going for your regular test, pap test, screening test.
Achha,
These are
at that time
again,
as well?
yes, again that is important.
For what, ma'am?
For cervical cancers with increasing
Okay.
age, all the cancers, cervical cancer, breast cancer,
Okay.
with increasing age, the chances of these cancers, they also increase. So
Okay.
you need to be under regular gynae checkup.
Ma'am, women health is always at
Women health
stake.
is it's very important because they have those organs which undergo undergo multiplication and division every month. So those cells which are working so much, they are at risk for transformations also, no?
Yeah.
In not so healthy way.
So if a woman does not get pregnant, does the menopause still happen?
Yes, so that's a very good question. If you have not attained your menopause, that's why noting down the date also becomes important, because it's a retrograde diagnosis. Today you can't say that I'll have menopause at this period, है ना? So you will have to note down this date, and if you haven't attained your periods for the 1 year, then you say, okay, now I have attained menopause. But till then, you have the possibility, or you may become pregnant. So taking contraception is definitely recommended during that
Okay.
period also.
Okay.
Although the chances are less, but it's not absolutely zero.
Okay. Okay, I think it was lots of insights from you,
much?
ma'am. Yeah, too much of information, too much of knowledge. I think I'm all boggled now with a lot of information. I hope you guys found it informational, and thank you, ma'am, for coming and showering.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure.
Yeah,
Like,
I'll call you again. I think I'm missing out some of the question. I don't know. I just want to make it, the next session would be a little light, on a lighter note. I
we
think
can break these topics, no? We can
Yeah.
discuss one topic so that the viewers
Yeah.
they get more information. about the
yeah.
particular
I think we spoke about everything. We tried to cover everything. So we spoke in bits and pieces, but we'll try to keep it a little fun. You scared me in between also.
Where?
When you spoke about diseases.
Diseases, yes. So only when you are scared, you know them, only then you'll come to us, no?
So you're scaring us, okay?
No, I'm just making you people aware about
Yeah, I think absolutely. I think a lot of people must be aware after watching this, because मुझे ऐसा लगता है बहुत लोगों को नहीं पता होता है बहुत सारी चीजें जो शायद मुझे थोड़ा पता चल चुका है, या if you consult your own gynecologist, you will get to know a lot of things. So do go for regular checkups. एक साल में चले जाओ. If not, if it's like too much for you to go in 6 months, but do get checked up. And thank you for watching. Thank you, ma'am, for
Thank you
coming.
so much.
Thank you.